समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् Krishnam Vande Jagat Guru. Okay, so we start with the verse 26 today, and we read. Of course, we are doing the Virat Swarup of the Lord. Ami Tvam Dhritarashtrasya Putra Sarve Sahevavanil Pal Sanghe Bhishmo Drona Suta Putrastatha Sahasmadiyerapi Yodha Mukhye. And the next verse we do together. Vaktrani te tvaramana vishanti Danshrakaralani bhayanakani Kechidvilagna dashanantareshu Sadrishyante churnite. The translation of the first verse is, all the sons of Dhritarashtra with hosts of kings of the earth, Bhishma, Drona, and the son of a charioteer Karna, with the warrior chieftains of ours. Next verse. Into your mouths with terrible teeth and fearful to behold, they precipitately enter. Some are found sticking in the gaps between the teeth with their heads crushed to powder. Look at the terrible description of destruction. Now, over here, see, now this is a description of the totality. Please understand that no description of the totality can be complete without destruction. Okay, so existence is change. Carefully, all existence is change, whether gross, subtle, sentient, insentient. All is change and subject to change. That is existence. Now, what is change? Creation has to happen only when destruction takes place. So, destruction is an important part, then creation, and because of these two is sustenance. Sustenance can only happen if there is a creation. Nahi to what are you going to sustain? And creation can only happen because there is a destruction. So the previous stage has to be destroyed, only then a creation can take place. And that is the picture he is trying to show you. Now, this thing, Churnateru Uttam Ange, the second line of verse 27 say, Uttam Ange. Uttam Ange is the head. So, the crushing of the head takes place. Look at the gruesome, the description is really gruesome and awful. Also, in these two verses, when they are listing Dhritarashtra or Kon with a host of kings of the earth, ye dekho, it is Avanipal. In the first line of verse 26, the last word, Sahevav Anil Pal Sanghe. The groups of Avanipal, so not Anilpal, sorry, Avanipal. Avani is earth and Pal, the protector of the earth. Who is the protectors of the earth? Kings. Kings were supposed to be the protectors of the earth. So they were called Avanipal. And he says Avanipal Sanghe, that means groups of kings. groups of kings, then Dhritarashtra ke putras, Bhishma, Drona, and then look, don't miss out. Arjun does not take the name of Karna. He calls him Sutaputra. Sutaputra means the son of a charioteer. This is a derogatory term Arjun uses for Karna, because at that time he did not know that Karna is his half brother, his own half brother. So he uses a derogatory term because there was enmity between Arjun and Karna. So he calls him Sutaputra over here. Now, all these people, look at the hosts of kings and warriors and all these people, they are entering the mouths, Vishante, Danshtra Karale, entering the flaming mouths of the Lord, where they get crushed between the teeth and their heads are turned to powder. They are crushed with the rows and rows of teeth, they are crushed and made into powder. Understand that there are, see, this is a vision of the total cosmic reality. Now, the total cosmic reality, I told you, has got three parts. Huh? It is, there are three aspects of creation. Creation just cannot happen. So, destruction, creation, sustenance, these are the three parts, and then again destruction. तो क्या है हमारी ट्रिनिटी में बनाया? All these people have made, all these old rishis of yore depicted as the Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. सोच के देखिए. Now also ध्यान देना है, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh is a Trimurti, and that Trimurti is with one head, one neck. It is fixed on one pedestal. What does that one pedestal? Why are not they three different? Because they are not different. When the Lord himself acts as a creator, he is Brahma, named as Brahma. When he acts as a sustainer of that creation, he is called Vishnu. And when he acts as a destroyer of that creation, he is called Shiva. So, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva are the three aspects of creation alone, and all these three are the three facets of the ultimate reality, the cosmic power. So, this is the vision. It is a cosmic vision of the creator. Now, understand that no creation is possible, I told you, without destruction, and even sustenance is not possible unless these two act, the other two act, isn't it? Unless destruction takes place, आप बनाएंगे कैसे? नया नहीं बना सकते ना. Creation is making of the new. So making of the new only possible. You have to pull down the old structure to build the new one, and then only उसको आप संभाल के रखते हैं. So sustenance takes place only because of destruction and creation. So all three function in unison. So this is the Vishwaroop of the Lord that Arjun is witnessing. It is not our petty vision. It is much beyond the petty vision of you and me. It is a cosmic vision. It is a Vishwaroop of the reality. The also this is a picture of time, because time and space, even today modern scientists consider it as one and the same. They say that it is interchangeable. Time and space is interchangeable. So the space is the Lord's mouth into which they are going, and time is when their time has come, they will go helplessly into the mouth and be destroyed. It cannot stop. It has to happen. Now, here the Lord is also, in other words, by naming all these people, the Lord is making a forecast to Arjun. Remember, Arjun had this doubt that whether they will win over us or we will win over them, even that is not sure. Remember, Arjun had said that, if you remember the previous chapters. So the Lord is telling him that they already are dead. They are going to die. They will die, whether you kill or you don't kill. Because see, death and birth happen because of your prarabdha. We have done that before. So I don't need to repeat it. So when your time comes, you will take a body. When the time comes and the time is ripe for your deeds to be over in this world, your prarabdha, your karma phala, jo sanchit karma phala aapka prarabdh ban ke aaya hai, when that is over, you will die. Not a second more can you live. So the Lord is trying to tell Arjun that all these people, their time has come, and I am showing you through a vision that see, they are all dying and they are all entering my mouth in a destructive fashion. So you just become निमित्र मात्र. वो एक लाइन है ना गीता में, निमित्र मात्र भव सव्य साचिन. That means you just become the means of destruction. You take, Gurudev used to say, the Lord is telling Arjun, you take the applause of the fools. I have already killed them. Now, take the applause of the fools. That means even the applause that you are getting, you should be ashamed of getting, because it is the fools who are praising it. Because the fools do not know the reality. The reality is that their time has come to die, and they will die. Now, when the modern scientists also say at the time and space to be one, they, जैसे आप लोग कहते, गुरुदेव ने यहाँ लिखा है that you say, you use this terminology that in the space of 1 hour, कहते हैं ना आप, in the space of 1 hour, he has written it here. So in the space of 1 hour means what? Space is space and 1 hour is time. So interchangeable. Also, Gurudev used to give the example that when you say, how far is your office from your home? You say 10 minutes. Now, he is asking you space, right? He has asked you in kilometers or in miles. You have answered in time. But the other person has understood. When you say 10 minutes, he doesn't ask you again. He knows what you're saying. So it is the same thing. Now, see, also, like when you say, that when I was in Rishikesh, this happened. Now you are talking about a time with reference to a place. Socho. You say, when I was in Rishikesh, my grandson was born. Now, grandson being born is an event that happened in time, but you are referring to that time with space. Space is what? The place Rishikesh. तो वो time and space एक हो गया. Even to write time, if you write time on a paper, you need space. सोचो, you write 1, space 2, space 3. है या नहीं? So you need space to even write time. In fact, understand it this way, it is not possible to calculate time without space. घड़ी होती है या नहीं? हाँ, तो उसमें 12, फिर इतनी स्पेस छोड़ के 1, फिर स्पेस छोड़ के 2, फिर स्पेस छोड़ के 3, that is counting time, isn't it? Even the seconds are marked, even the minutes are marked. Marked where? In space. So unless there is space, you cannot even count. So there can be no conception of space without time. There can be no conception of time without space. And here in these two verses, the Lord is depicting that time and space. Okay, now this is so this is, these are horrible description. Even the next verse 28, abhi padhenge 28 and 29, they are both terrible verses giving you the finality of death. Now that finality of death, just think about it. This is what is called the realism in the Gita. This is depicted as the realism of the Gita. Gita does not recognize only the good part of the Lord. The good part, he is a benevolent Lord, he is a kind Lord. See, most of the religions look at the Lord like this: very loving, very forgiving, very kind, very compassionate. This is the picture of the Lord. But that is half the picture. What is the other half? Not even other, that is one third of the picture. The other two thirds are what? Sustenance and what? Destruction. So the destruction has not been talked of, whereas the Gita talks very harshly, very practically of the destruction. So the Lord is not just a Gurudev used to say, Lord is not a TV channel which you can just flick to a nice channel, good channel, and keep watching it. No, he is got a destructive channel, a channel that is terrible, and that terrible part completes the beautiful part. So when you want to see the totality, as Arjun is seeing the Virat Roop, that is the Vishwaroop of the Lord. तो विश्व में तो डिस्ट्रक्शन आता है या नहीं आता, डेथ आती है या नहीं आती, there is destruction, there is death, there is disease, there is violence, and all that is depicted in these verses. So we cannot only just recognize the beautiful part of the Lord in the cosmic vision of the Lord. The bad and the good are both depicted. So here it is the Gita sense of realism, and look at the examples that are given in the next two verses. यथा नदीनां बहवोऽम्बवेगा समुद्रमेवाभिमुखा द्रवन्ति तथा नवामि नरलोकवीरा विशन्ति वक्त्राण्यभिविज्वलन्ते. Verily, as many torrents of river flow towards the ocean, so these heroes in the world of men enter your flaming mouths. Now, over here, see, verily, as many torrents of rivers flow towards the ocean. Understand one thing: when a river is flowing towards the ocean, every every drop of water in that river is being pushed by trillions of gallons of water. That drop of water is helpless. It, where does the river go? It is being pushed single pointedly. ये जो है ना अभिमुखा, अभिमुखा means single pointed direction, towards a single pointed direction with a single focus. The entire river is moving towards the sea. Where does the river arise from? The river has arisen from the sea waters to form clouds. Then you know that whole water cycle. We have all studied it in school. And then it comes down as rain. And then that comes down as snow. And when the snow melts and the rain water flows in, that becomes a river. And that river goes back where? To its source. So it's a complete cycle. From the ocean to the cloud, from the cloud to the mountain, from the mountain to the water, from the water streams to the river, river to the sea. Now, so over here, all those water, they are moving helplessly because they are being pushed from behind, and they are totally helpless. No part of the water of a river can stand its ground. So river is a flow. River is a helpless flow of water going single pointedly towards the sea. And that is all of us people. This death is something which cannot, life is a moving thing. It's not stationary. हमको लगता है stationary, but we are all moving towards death. Each one of us. Not a very nice thought, yeah, I agree. But we are all moving towards death. And Gurudev used to say that your children are pushing you and you are pushing your parents. Isn't it? You push your parents out of the world to create space for yourself. and your children are already pushing you for space, hai na? When your son is going to get married, then what do you say? Now he needs space, we have to create space for him, isn't it? So what is he doing? He is pushing you out of your space, and you are creating space for him. It is a natural process. It has to happen. It has to happen. They will elbow you out soon. So it better you elbow yourself out. Huh? And this is the Virat. Now take it like this, that the ocean is the Virat Swarup of the Lord, from which the waters rise to form clouds, snow, streams, rivers, and then all these go back to the Virat Swarup. Similarly, we, you and I, are born from that main source, and we go back to the main source. और कहीं है ही नहीं. You don't go anywhere else. You go back to the main source. So this is and it cannot stop. It will not stop. ये ध्यान कर लेना. It just no way can it stop over here. So the Lord is making a bhavishyavani to Arjun that don't worry, you just fight on, because these people are going towards their death themselves. And I have already determined their death. You become the means. Nimitta matra bhava savya sachin. So nothing will stop, and they will go towards a place where all distinctions end. There will be no Dhritarashtraputra or Bhishma Pitama or Karna or this one or that one. As you see just now, they will all merge into one. So, see, there is nobody, all those who are listening to this talk, can any one of you go backwards? Nobody can go backwards. Once out of the mother's womb, even in the mother's womb, you are only progressing into a body. Once you are born, can you stop yourself from going up to death? Can you stop your birthdays? Can you stop your growth? Can you say that no, I want to remain a child, I don't want to get puberty? Can you say that I will always want to be young, I do not want to grow old? No. It is a helpless progression. From moment to moment, only the stages are different according to the stages. If you see your old pictures, from the time you were born till the time you became an old person, आपके पास pictures होंगी. All those pictures you put together in a sequence, don't you see the change? Don't you see the change? Sometimes you are a baby. This is baby me, 6 months old. This is a child me, a toddler, learning to walk. This is a growing up child. Then this is a teenager. This is a young man. This is a middle aged man. And then an old man and a diseased, dilapidated, absolutely nearing death old man. Hai ya nahi? So, what do you call yourself? You call yourself child. You call yourself baby. You call yourself a toddler. You call yourself teenager. You call yourself a young man. नाम बदले हैं ना आपके और रूप भी बदला है. Similarly, when a river flows, the different places from where the river goes, it changes form, it changes its flow. Somewhere it is a wide river, somewhere it is a narrow river, somewhere the flow is fast, somewhere it is calm, somewhere it is turbulent. So where it is calm, it is called Mandakini, isn't it? कहीं उसका नाम गंगा है, कहीं उसका नाम जाह्नवी है. It is the same river. Somewhere it is called something, somewhere it is called something, according to the stages. But all the stages are only going where? Into one direction. Only single pointed direction, the ocean. So that is what they are following. Similarly, हम लोग के stages हैं life में, even if you don't count the age, even the stages in life. You can say, I was an MLA. Now I am a minister. Then in this year I became the chief minister. Then after that I fought the election and I became a prime minister. ये सब नाम है. They are only names and forms. वो ओहदा है. Gulzar has said it so nicely कि ये पैसा और ओहदा ये किराएदार हैं साहब, घर बदलते रहते हैं. कितने ब्यूटीफुली he has said. It will not last. No power will last. No wealth will last. No position will last. अभी आप हीरो हैं, फिर आप जीरो हैं. It is going to happen. So be prepared for that happening. And I know it's not a very happy thought, but you have to accept it as part of life. Okay, verse 29. This is another example he gives. First example he is given of a river. This is another example. Yatha pradiptam ज्वलनं पतंगा विशन्ति नाशाय समृद्ध वेगा तथैव नाशाय विशन्ति लोकान् तवापि वक्त्राणि समृद्ध वेगा. He gives this second example as moths hurriedly rush into a blazing fire for their own destruction. We have all seen this happening. देखा है ना? You light a lamp, all the night flies, they rush towards their death. They are so fascinated by that flame of the lamp that they all come and dive into the lamp, fascinated by the light. And they are burnt to death. They are scorched to death, isn't it? Why do they come then if they have to die? They come helplessly, compulsively, because that is their destiny. That is how they are meant to die. Now, also, don't think that only moths die like that. You and I also compulsively reach the place where we have to die, reach the situation where we have to die. It is already determined. आपको पता हो या नहीं पता हो. देखिए वो रामचरित मानस में एक लाइन है कि सुनो भरत भावी प्रबल. आई थिंक वशिष्ठ ऋषि इज टेलिंग भरत जी, और वो ये कहते हैं कि जो डेथ है वो ऐसे आती है कि सो चले आवत ताहे पह ताहे तहां ले जाए. मतलब या तो द डेथ विल कम टुवर्ड्स यू wherever you are sitting. You think you are very safe in your own house? No, you are not. When death comes right in your house, comfortably protected, you will drop right there when the time comes. सुना है ना कि नहीं सुना? बहुत बार सुना होगा. You've heard stories now that somebody was playing cards and he had cards in his hand and everybody said, come on, your turn, play. But he will play if he's there. He's already dead and frozen in his place with the cards in his hand. So when they touch his shoulder like that, he falls. सुना है या नहीं? Also, you must have heard somebody was going to board a plane. He changed his mind and someone else came and boarded that plane. The plane crashed. So the person who got off the seat, his time had not come. The person who got onto that plane, his time had come. You've heard it? You've heard it in buses? That somebody who was sitting right in front in the bus got up from there and said, yeah, mujhe nahi acha lag raha, I'm feeling sick, I'll go and sit at the back. He goes and sits at the back. Somebody else who exchanged place with him goes and sits in the front. And the bus crashes and the person sitting in front is crushed to death. So what is all this? It's not chance, my dear. Gurudev used to say there is no such thing as chance in the world. Everything has a cause and an effect, a cause and an effect. So if your time has come, the place will come to you or you will go to the place. The death will either come to you or you will reach that place where you are supposed to die. It's seen all over all the time. So don't think. So this is it. ये जो पतंगे हैं, the moths hurriedly rush into a blazing fire for their own destruction. So also these creatures hurriedly rush into your mouths for destruction. Now notice he has given two examples. one of sentient beings and one of insentient beings. River was what? Unconscious, insentient. It is matter, right? And these moths are living beings. So, in these two examples, the Gita Acharya is covering both the living and the non-living creatures. They all get destroyed. That is what he is saying. And they helplessly go towards their death. Hmm? And there is no one, absolutely no one, who can escape this. Nothing and no one can escape destruction. This is part of the totality. So now in the living kingdom, in the non-living kingdom, there is an intrinsic conscious effort to go towards destruction. You cannot stop it, huh? And you have to witness it, realize the phenomena of death, and understand that it is a reality. Come to the next verse. लेलिह्यसे ग्रसमान समान्तान् लोकान् समग्रान् वदनैज्वल वदनैर्ज्वलन्त्विः तेजोभिरापूर्य जगत्समग्रं भासस्तवोग्राः प्रतपन्ति विष्णु. Devouring all worlds on every side with your flaming mouths, you are licking in enjoyment your fierce rays, filling the whole world with radiance, are burning, O Vishnu. Now see, this verse, lel hearsay, is when you, like when you have honey, you lick your lips to take all the honey inside. So licking of the lips in enjoyment of what you're eating is this word lel hearsay. So the Lord is licking his lips. Look at the description that is being given. It's really gory and a very violent sort of a description, a horrendous description, that the Lord is licking his lips as if almost enjoying the destruction. The Lord enjoys all the three. He, Leela, this is his Leela, it is his play. Creation, sustenance, and destruction is the play of the Lord. That is why he calls him, देखो वो उसे कह रहे हैं प्रतपंति विष्णु. The last line says pratipanti Vishnu. He is calling him O Vishnu. That means he is recognizing the unity in the unity in the diversity of divinity. Divinity is three parts. There are diverse parts, I have told you, but those parts are a whole. They are not three different things, and they are not three different people. It is only one Lord with these three different powers, जिसको हम त्रिमूर्ति कहते हैं, ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेश की. पर he is the benign creator, he is the compassionate sustainer, and he is the fierce destroyer of all. And it is a continuation chain that takes place. It's a chain, and nobody can stop that chain. I will read something interesting from Gurudev, which I wrote down in my book for you to know. He says there are only two places in 60, 70 years, that is 60, 70 years of our lives. There are only two places in 60, 70 years, the maternity ward and the burial ground. तो इसके बीच में आप हैं और कितना टाइम है आपके पास. गुरुदेव सेड 60, 70 years. बस चलो आप 80 लगा लो, 90 लगा लो मैक्सिमम. तो ये टाइम जो है ये आपको मिला है. एंड इन द मिडल ही सेज, दिस इज, लुक एट दिस व्हाट ही सेड, इन द मिडल यू ओनली किक ईच अदर एंड नेवर गिव एनीवन एनी हैप्पीनेस कॉन्शियसली. दैट मीन्स किसी को मिल जाए हैप्पीनेस तो वो बाय द वे होता है, आप नहीं देते हैप्पीनेस. सो ही सेज यू नेवर गिव हैप्पीनेस कॉन्शियसली, यू ओनली किक ईच अदर. एंड एवरी 67 years the entire generation is wiped out. This is the conception of totality. Can you imagine? So just think about it. Think about it. That even in 1,000 years, almost 12, 13 generations are wiped out. Almost 12, 13 generations are wiped out in the span of just 1,000 years. And how old is just your world? And think of the universe. It is a mind blowing concept of time. और आप उसमें हैं क्या? You are just a microcosmic speck of dirt. इतनी छोटी सी, पता भी नहीं किसी को कहीं, और हम लोग सोचते क्या है अपने आप को? ओह, me, I am the chief minister. What you don't know, I'm an MLA, I'm an MP. Not only politicians, I am the richest industrialist. I am born very high. I'm a Brahmin. Oh, he's a Shudra. Just imagine the idiotic concepts we have of our eternity, of our permanence, of our power. How how unintelligent can we get? So this concept of time and space, if you have the intelligent concept of time and space vis-a-vis you yourself, you are nothing, you are nobody. You have to even go to this Nehru planetarium, go to any planetarium in the world and see the formation of this world and the stars and how they move and the planets and this and that, and you come out of there stunned absolutely, because you realize that in all that, who are you? You are just no one, nothing, absolutely nothing. So it's a continuous process of destruction, creation, sustenance, and that is the, understand it only this way. All these three are the Virat Roop जो अर्जुन को दिखा रहे हैं, Virat Roop of Ishvara. This is Ishvara. In short, understand it only this much. The destructive aspect is not easy to watch. I agree. It is quite horrible, terrifying to watch, but that is the true reality. So we do this much today. The next verse we will take up next time. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.